Beauty and the Beast series. This one is Lumiere, and so they all have the same background color and they're just the different characters on top. So I don't know if you noticed this yesterday with Belle's, but I'm not doing the background in each video. If you do want to see how I created this really simple, glittery, kind of semi-sheer gold background, I did include that in the Beast video. If you missed it, there'll be a link to previous videos in the description box below, as well as the future ones as they are uploaded. So if you missed any, you can always check that, as well as the link to purchase this set as a necklace is down below as well. So if you want to be interested in that and see how it is and how it's set up, the length on the necklace is customizable for the different lengths. So if you are worried about it being too small, too large, etc., it hasn't actually been finished yet until it's purchased and I find out how long whoever buys it wants it. So if that is a concern of yours, you can always reach out to me with any questions, and I will see you next time. Bye!
So we're going to begin with a cream color of acrylic, and we're going to start sculpting our Lumiere. And as I just said in the intro, if you have any questions at all about this set, I know that I said that if you want them to be as earrings, chip, and the rose, I've said that in a couple of the past videos. If you want them to be an earring set instead of on the necklace, I do have an option on the listing for the necklace, as well as 3 different necklace lengths. But if you say, if I think the lengths of necklace I have are 14, 16, and 18. If you want it to be 20 or 13 or some specific length too, after you purchase, just shoot me an email and I can accommodate anything that's like that. Or if you have any questions and you want to know anything, you can always just send me an email. Or if you like the setup of this necklace and you want to commission one, of your own, of something else, like if there's a certain series that you want a necklace of too, you can always ask about that as well. I'm always open. So anyways, we've got our little Lumiere started here. Sculpting out his long nose was actually really funny, just because it was kind of trying to get it to get that right shape and look like his nose and have it stick up and out was a little bit of a challenge. As you saw, I took the bit of acrylic and I sort of just stretched it out on my brush and we got there. We're going to be doing all of these details just with this single color. So there's a lot of layers that happen to Lumiere, and it's all just done with this one shade of cream. Later on, I do add some more color to it with some painting and adding some more shading to it. But at the moment, you really have to focus more on your 3D and the depth over the color changes, because sometimes when you're sculpting with 3D, a lot of your detail comes from just switching colors and the placement, and it's almost like painting with acrylic, whereas sculpting our Lumiere is really sculpting, because you are mainly looking at heights and depths. Because there really isn't that much for color changing, especially on his face. But one thing to color change is his eyeballs, which we are going to be sculpting in with white instead of that same off-white color. And for Lumiere, if you have it, and I didn't have this exact color, he isn't so much a cream as he is almost like a yellowish or greenish grayish color. Look at some photos of him just to see if you have a better shade of acrylic than I do. I did do some color correcting with acrylic paint when I got around to it, but just to start out with, this cream color was the closest thing I had on hand for that specific shade. It was, when I was looking, I'm like, ooh, I do not have that color. So I mean, it's okay, it can be close. And besides, most people would not be able to pick out if something wasn't exactly right. And like I said, you can always color correct things later on if it's required. At the top of his head, don't forget to give him a little melty drip coming out. And then you're going to sculpt his flame with a pastel yellow. Don't sculpt it right on top of where the top of his head is. Give a little space for where the wick will be. And then you're going to sculpt the candle holder part of this candelabrum with a shade of metallic gold. So that candelabrum starts where, like, his bottom, his lower jaw, and then it kind of goes up and around the side of his face. It kind of cups the side of his face, and then it comes down for his body. So when you are working on sculpting this, try to keep all of this very smooth looking, because it's metal, so it has a very smooth appearance. So unlike the rest of the candle, where you can kind of leave some different shapes and kind of have some more freedom with the textures there, you want to just keep this acrylic looking just so smooth. And I know that's kind of a weird thought, but just try to keep it looking, I don't have a word besides smooth, and I don't want to say it again. Then we're going to fill in his mouth with red. A nice darker red acrylic is exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to add another layer to his candle holder body, and then we're going to do all the little details with acrylic paint. I'm going to begin with some black acrylic paint and just do some outlining and just kind of get some of the bases down. So with, say, Belle, I didn't do as much outlining with black because I did a lot of it with brown instead, just to give her a more soft appearance. Part of the reason specifically on Lumiere to do black outlines versus one of the other colors is because he is a candle and he does have that flame. A lot of times you see him and he has very dramatic shading on him and shadows and outlines, just because that's what candlelight does. Especially if it's, if you have a pinpoint light anywhere, it's going to give very drastic light on one side, dark on the other. So for him to have those black outlines is, it's a choice you can or don't have to make, but it's something that I thought was appropriate for him specifically. So we're going to be doing the black outlines and essentially outlining all kinds of those details that you sculpted in. If you don't want to outline them, you don't have to. If you want to do them with a brown or say like an army green instead of black, that you can do as well. It's, totally up to you, whatever you want to do there, whatever you feel is appropriate for what you're going for. So we're going to be doing the outlines on his body as well. There's a little bit of detail and some architecture built in to the candle holder. So if you want to add in a little bit more detail to that, you certainly can. A little bit of shape here and there. I'm going to do some of that with a little bit of yellow acrylic paint, adding some highlights to my gold. I'm going to darken up a little bit in his mouth, whiten up his teeth, and whiten up his eyes. So I'm just going to take white acrylic paint and paint over those areas to brighten them, and it brightens them so much to do that, just because the white acrylic isn't quite as vibrant of a white as it could or should be. So as you can see on my thumb, I was mixing my paint color to do his other areas. So I have white, black, gray, green, and yellow. Those are all the colors that I was mixing. And I kept mixing it, and then I thought, no, that's not the right color. And I'd add another color, and I thought, nope, that's not the color either. And I would just keep adjusting it until I was happy with this almost gargoyle type color. Is what I think of like aged, slightly mossy concrete. That's the color that I feel with it. So we're going to be adding a few little bits of this color throughout. I lightened it to have just another shade to kind of work with. And by giving him these extra colors in there, it also plays into that candle extreme lighting, kind of flickery lighting sort of a look. So once we have that done, then you can go back through and fix up any black lines that you need to that may have got painted over with your shading. Add his pupils, finish whatever you look at and whatever you think needs to be added. I'm going to add some more pink on his tongue. You never know what you might see and think needs to be adjusted. But once you're happy with it, apply a layer of gel sealer over the background. Go ahead and cure that, and then apply some matte top coat over Mr. Lumiere, and this one is done. Here are the others in this series. Belle and Beast have already been uploaded. We will have Mrs. Potts tomorrow and Cogsworth following that, and then to finish off the whole design, I will be showing you Chip and the Rose next Tuesday. And then we have the finished necklace. Like I said, there's only one of these available. It's this specific necklace. So if you are interested in this necklace, it is first come, first serve. And I will have a link to that down below. So if you are interested, check it out before it's gone. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.